Good morning, Paige.
Good morning.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, or
Yeah.
whenever it is you're watching this.
Whenever you're finding your way into this goddess chat. So, we are going to dive into our goddess, Anya,
Anya,
the Fae, the
the Fae.
fairy.
We're I'm trying to adapt my best Celtic brogue to speak about the fairies. We seem to be picking a lot of Celtic goddesses lately, or they're
Yeah.
picking us.
Yes, they are. Well,
Must be a really magical time.
I do have some Irish in my lineage, and my first tattoo was actually a Celtic half moon, or yeah, half moon, which is here on
Okay.
my near my heart.
Heart.
So I've always been really drawn to the Celtic knots
Right, right.
and yeah. So
I don't know that I have any
I'm
Irish in
kind
me,
of
but
okay that we're talking about our Irish sisters.
I don't have much Irish in me that I know of, but I'm pretty good at adapting accents. So
Well, and that is
I don't
because
know.
Anya is talking to us about
Adaptability.
adaptability. And there you
I'm not meant to make that a segue, but there you go. Anye. Woo. Adaptability. I'm just looking at
are.
our little guidebook that came with the cards to
Yeah. Yeah.
keep me on track, but getting out of your comfort zone.
Oh man.
Ooh.
We don't know anything about that, do we, Paige?
No. What do I need to become in order to experience the life I desire?
Oh yeah. Mm.
Wow. Should I go into my story?
Well,
Do you want
yeah,
me to do that?
we'll get there in just a second. So there's more
I'm sorry,
to
I
that.
want to tell my story.
There's more to that.
Okay, you explain the
so,
more.
so what Anya is sharing with us is that being adaptable, being willing to go with the flow, which especially when we're setting intentions, it's about really finding that space of allowing the intention, like seeing yourself at the end there, see your intention there, but there's no box of what there looks like. It's about being able to ride the current that the divine is taking us on to take us where we are ultimately wanting to go, right? And oftentimes when we start setting intentions, and that's what Anya's talking about, is being willing to set intentions and roll with it and be able to take the turns and the highs and the lows and all the different turns that are going to come on the journey with her. And as a fairy, she's actually a shapeshifter.
That too.
Shapeshifter. So she's what the reason she brings the theme of adaptability with us is because she's able to shift into whatever form she needs to for whatever scenario she's finding herself in.
Mm-hmm.
So as journeyers, as we are creating our intentions, as we are finding our way on our journey, it's important to be able to let go of attachments to things having to work out in a specific timeline or date or location, because that's the practice of adaptability. It's allowing it to happen and trusting it, right? Trusting, oh, this is in alignment with where I'm going, even if it doesn't look exactly like I thought it was supposed to. It's there, and it allows
Mm-hmm.
us to ultimately find ourselves where our intentions were laid. And Paige has an amazing story about this. And I love it because I get to
Well,
watch it unfold.
you did. You did. Yeah. So I I just basically woke up one morning and my life was just not what I wanted it to be. It was just, no, this is not it. And I set the intention. I want to meet my soulmate. I want to quit my 9 to 5 and move to the beach. And the beach was the big thing. That was, I mean, you and I had been talking about, oh, how am I going to get there? And I'm like, I'm leaving, I'm going now. And you were kind of like, okay, well, pump the brakes here. Let's figure, this out a little bit, because I was just ready to go. And oh, where do I start? But I had been looking at East Coast, West Coast. I didn't really know which side I wanted to go. I'd been always leaning toward the West Coast, Clearwater, St. Pete, because that's where I felt like my home was. That was my beach. And lo and behold, as the universe spirit was conspiring for me to meet my now husband, my soulmate, Ernie. We were talking, and he said, well, where do you want to move to? Because I had been talking about the beach. And I said, well, and now here's where shape-shifting and codependence can be kind of, and I was thinking, I really like this guy. And I know he lives on the East Coast and the beach. And do I say, oh, I want to live on the East Coast? But in my brain, I was thinking, no. And so I spoke my truth. I said, well, you know what? I really like to live at Indian Rocks Beach. Mm-hmm. And he said, I used to live there. I grew up there, and I've been wanting to move back there. And I thought, holy cow. I mean, so there was just the one thing that started. So
well, and the synchronicities there were amazing. So
there were a lot. I mean, I could go on and on. Yeah. And it really was synchronous in so many ways. And I ended up leaving my 9-to-5 and moved to the beach. And I'm at Jacksonville Beach on the Atlantic side of the state. And I love it because I discovered that as much as I love the sunsets on the West Coast, and I dearly love the Gulf and the beaches there, I really treasure my morning time in waking up and grounding myself right there in the sand with the sun coming up. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to take these beautiful photographs and share them with everybody. It gave me the inspiration to start my podcast. It's given us the inspiration to do the things that we're doing. We probably could have manifested that on the Clearwater St. Pete Beach,
but this is where we are.
Still, I had to release the attachment to no, I have to. Mm-hmm. But yet I was still speaking my truth and what I had envisioned my life to be. And so far it's turned out even more than what I had envisioned, because, well, and I'm water, so I can go with the flow most times. Mm-hmm. And when I think about adaptability, though, like I mentioned about codependence, or I've been grown up to believe I'm the peacemaker, I'm the people pleaser. That was my role in the family and in life, and I have to be careful that I'm not saying, well, I'm just being adapted, where I'm actually trying to please somebody else. Like, okay, well, we can do that because I want to please that person or whatever. So for me, I have to really kind of be cognizant of that, walking that line.
Well, and I think that what Aine actually gifts us is that, that dream feeling. Okay, this is what I want. So you and I were talking about this actually before we got on for our chat here today about living from the heart, right? Mm-hmm. So what I've had to do, because I also have codependence in my makeup, like this was what I was raised under, is that you please others. This is your job in the world, to make sure everyone else is happy.
Right.
And it's only been these last 5-6 years since I've been stepping into my authentic life journey and really stepping into my divine feminine and really beginning to understand my spiritual self, that I've been able to really set into, is this in alignment with my soul? Is this in alignment with my heart? And so in those shifts and changes, it's also about listening and saying, okay, Anya, do I need to make this adjustment here, or do I need to stay course here? Because we can get distracted and think that it's part of the course. And that happened to me. I got a huge distraction right after I started the journey with my new company, and spent a year on that distraction until finally I had to step out and move forward in another direction. And that was what needed to happen. It was what spirit was teaching me. But it was definitely I'm taking this road over here and staying instead of staying on my course. On my
I think I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It just, so many things you say bring about ideas in my head, but I'm just thinking that we've come off of the new moon. People have set their intentions. We have grand visions. This past new moon was pretty powerful in that it was twice in Cancer. And we ended up, we're, the end of retrograde now, and Mercury is, moving into new territory. And but we don't want to become too attached to how that intention, right, is going to happen. We just be adaptable, go with the flow.
Yeah.
I think it's always, and the heart is the best filter for, well, it is the filter.
Yep, it is.
For everything.
And we'll talk about that more at another time, but yes.
I know. And I know you've got a whole thing going on about that, and that's just, everything needs to go through the heart, and keeping that energy flowing.
So our invitation for you is to set intentions, but really set into the flow and understand that flow might move or move or move. And to trust your heart's messages in that movement, and ultimately to just allow things to occur without it having to set into a specific box. Because when we go with the flow and we follow that divine energy, this is how we end up in places like this.
So strap on your fairy wings, put on your mermaid tail.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's ride the waves.
Yes, indeed. So we hope that this chat has inspired you and invited you to maybe explore your own work with adaptability and going with the
love it. Shape shift away, ladies.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, goddess.
We will see you all next week. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.
Namaste.